What's up, everybody? Today I have a very special episode of Halo History. Someone who also is part of the Michigan scene. However, we had gamed literally every weekend for probably 2 years straight. And for those of you who don't know who StK Tupac was, he was one of the original members of kind of like StK crew, gaming with us. He had, I'm not sure how many tournament wins he has, but he had also placed very high in multiple events. Had a very storied history through Halo 1 and Halo 2. And we're going to have some incredible stories because Pac is quite a character. We're going to talk about some of the other characters we used to run in back in the day. So, thank you for joining, Pac.
Not a problem.
So, normally I was going to say when I do this thing, when I do the few Halo histories that I have done, I usually go in some sort of chronological order. But I think today we can just go across the board where we can zoom back and forth between years because I'm sure there's always going to be some story that sparks up and one of us remembers. Yeah. But I think a good starting point would be either talking about how you very first got into Halo or the first Halo tournament that we met up against each other. And I'm not sure if you remember this, but I can remind you.
Oh, yeah. I do remember. Oh, God. Well, I first got into Halo, that part first, because it's really quick.
Yeah.
Not too long. We used to play Smash Brothers like ridiculous, me and Easy, every day. And he got a box, and I wouldn't stop playing Smash, but he just kept telling me, like, dude, just try this shit out. It's a good game.
So this is Smash 64 you were playing back in the day, right?
Yeah, in 64, Smash. I played that like non-stop. And then he finally convinced me to switch over to Halo 1. And then it was just, we had a group of we had more gangsters than just the GU squad. There was more gangsters. I can't remember their names.
So for those that don't know, Pac and his squad early on, they were called GU, aka Gangsters United. And they all had gangster names. As you see, Pac is, this has radar. Wow. Pac was Tupac, and his brother was 50 for 50 Cent. We had Dirt McGirt, Eazy-E, Eminem. And just all these gangster names, but yeah.
We had another Biggie too. He was actually the best player in the beginning. His name was Biggie. He used to 3-shot everyone. It was crazy. And then we played so much Hang 'em High. That's how it got known as Gangster City. Do you remember at the AGP3 what happened to what's that team? It was JMB, Silk Stalker. And you told them that Chill Out was our best map.
TOD, I want to say? Or,
yeah, TOD.
TOD, yes. And,
yeah, you told them it was our best map, Game 5, my very first tournament, AGP3, and it was Gangster. They picked Gangster City, and I dropped 26 kills on them in the tiebreaker. That was pretty funny, dude. Yeah, so yeah, I started playing Halo 1 like every single day after that. Once we got all the kids together, we always had plans going. But then the first tournament we ran into together, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is the first one, was that one where we were on like the same side of the bracket early on, and your PSB team was on the other side, which we thought was bullcrap. And then we played you guys, and it was like Sidewinder CTF.
Oh, all right. So
you just kept sniping the crap out of us, and we're like, "What is this? They know how to play it."
So Pac's talking about our very first local event that we ran to each other. So I don't know if you guys had known about us beforehand. We did not know about you guys beforehand, so we were caught very off guard playing because you guys were really good.
Yeah, we didn't know anybody. We just heard about locals, and we're like, let's do it.
So we go this local. I don't remember where it was. For some reason, I keep thinking like Port Huron because that's where, I don't know, Moo and Webley were talking about a lot of local events early on. But yeah, I don't remember the game types. I'm pretty sure they were solid game types for the most part, like having 4v4 Team Slayer with no radar and having maybe like a War Wizard CTF or something along those lines. But yeah, as you said, we ended up somehow tying the tournament, going to like tie-breaking Game 3. Game 3, for whatever reason, after having all these great game types, was Sidewinder CTF, which I didn't know how this happened at the time, but the people I was teaming with, which were Dragon Spear, Biggie, and Corrosion, we're like more so Dragon Spear and Corrosion. We're just like gods of the game type. Because I remember before we even started, I was like, "What's the strat for this?" Because I don't even know what we're supposed to do. And they're like, "Don't worry, we got this." And they had all these perfect strats. Like they were maneuvering the ghost perfectly, driving into your base, jumping out, grabbing the flag, bringing it back.
Sniping us from across the map where we were like spawning and stuff.
Yeah, I was able to just grab snipe, go on the side, and they would just get in the vehicles, get all the kills, run the flag. I was like, all right, this is pretty sweet. And I don't know if you remember this, but at the end, it was you or Dirt just goes, your best two against our best two. And and Dragon Spear and I were pretty cocky at the time because, you know, I think at this point we had been to some pretty major tournaments. I'm trying to think if we had been to AGP 3 yet. I don't think
No, that was before AGP 3.
So either way, they had placed like, you know, third or second at AGP 2. I had placed well in the free for all, so we knew we were pretty good, especially since we had been landing a bit. And I remember I was like, all right, we'll send Biggie and Corrosion at them. If they can beat Biggie and Corrosion, then we'll play them. And you guys just slaughtered Biggie and Corrosion.
50-15. No timer, dude. They were timing.
I remember we had that discussion at one point where I think we started the game or something. And you guys were like, well, "How about no timers?" I was like, well, I guess we can do it because I think we thought we were just gonna beat you anyways.
Yeah.
And we get crushed by you guys too. I don't know if it was an absolute crushing, but I know you beat us.
It was like 50-46.
Okay, I believe it was hang 'em high, and Dirt was just red tower, peeking out every second, you know, picking us off, and then you were just running the power up cycle with camo, rockets, everything.
And it was our best map, so you didn't know about Gangster City.
I did not know about Gangster City yet. I quickly learned about Gangster City. But yeah, so that was kind of a wake up call because I think they ended up kicking us out after that, like the store owners, the tournament organizers, because I would not have left on a loss. I would be like, no, run that back, we're playing again. So yeah, that was an outbreak because I don't know exactly what happened at some point after that, but I think we had realized we're like, hey, you guys are ridiculously good. We're pretty damn good. We should just start landing all the time and practicing against each other. So at some point we started every single weekend driving out to Lansing, where Cycle Soldiers live. That's where Corrosion, Dragon Spear, and a third member, you might know him, Pac, Gaddy. He was never never in the Halo scene, really, never in the like pro scene, but he was a interesting character where I don't know how to explain it. He was just always playing Command and Conquer. He dabbled in Halo, like he was surprisingly decent at it. Where you could have him play against a decent player and beat them like in 1 versus 1. I mean, I think at one point I had lost a 1v1 to him. Like a hang 'em high 1v1, something like that. And so he could shoot, he knew what he was doing. But the whole point is that we just started landing every single weekend. Every weekend in Lansing. It was the central spot. It was about hour something away from me, hour something away from Pac, and we just that's where the lands began. Now, what do you first remember about the PS house and land?
Honestly, the very first thing was just walking in there and seeing this pit of trash. I just couldn't believe it. Like, why not just pile everything in one corner, have it in the trash? I mean, that's okay because you're like, all right, I'm still lazy.
I wish at some point I took a picture of it. All right, there is no exaggeration for how bad it was there. There's literally just trash on the floor everywhere. Like they would get done
clean. Couldn't wake up clean.
They'd get done eating McDonald's for whatever reason, just chuck it on the floor instead of throwing it in the trash, like Pac says.
Just start gaming.
Just game all day. And as you said, like it wasn't like just piled in one corner, or it wasn't easily just thrown in the trash bin.
It was spread evenly throughout the floor.
It was literally if someone took the dumpster next to their apartment building and just evenly spread it across the entire apartment.
Made no sense. But
it didn't at all because they're smart. They were like cleanly guys. It wasn't like they didn't shower or anything. They were all, very like they showered regularly. That sort of stuff. Just the apartment was the townhouse was a complete mess. I remember one time waking up like, all right, in order to even sleep there, bring like a blanket or a sleeping bag or whatever. I remember one time just like, not one time, every single time I just have to clear floor space, like literally move trash aside to clear some space for me to sleep. And at least one time I woke up with either barbecue sauce or ketchup in my hair. It was absolutely fucking disgusting. But
oh yeah, you couldn't wake up clean. I never even brought blankets or pillows. I would have to sleep in the trash every time I was there. Never like.
What did you do? Just like use McDonald's bags as like to keep you warm or something?
Yeah, I mean, I was like, dude, they'll clean it this time. And just every time, it's just
when I get back,
worse and worse. Yeah, I remember one time Biggie woke up with just like ketchup just ingrained in his hair, just everywhere. Just waking up like that.
Oh my god, it's so funny how dirty the place was, but how it was still the best time of my life. Yeah. Alright, so one thing that always happened is we were all pretty big trash talkers. We would run our mouth when someone was destroying and whatnot. And it seemed like it was always 100% of the time it was Corrosion or Dragon would start this, I think. Well, actually, no, Methods was part of it. Biggie was part of it too. Like, if someone had enough, started trash talking, like a trash wrestling match would go down. Like, someone would just go tackle the other person. They start wrestling, and as we talked about before, it was an absolute mess in the place, so we dubbed it trash wrestling. Like, we'd be in the middle of a free-for-all, and all of a sudden, 4 people would stop moving, like, what's going on? And you'd notice the whole upstairs just, like, cleared around the side. Like, there's 2 people in the middle of wrestling because someone either spawned, killed them too many times, or had talked too much shit, and they were just going at it in the trash. And at the end, everyone was sure to have, like, ketchup on their shirt or something nasty. And, oh my god, I gotta...
yelling too, screaming, rooting people on.
Yeah. I forgot. At one point, someone, I think Method sent me a picture of like me and him trash wrestling or something like that. And we lost. I don't believe that for a second.
How's the game over? They have 40.
10-minute game, 30... I guess.
There's time limit
we should
now?
just do Team Slayer or something, where it's the real game types.
I didn't know they had a time limit, but.
But yeah. So trash wrestling. I remember. All right, one I would specifically remember was Methods. Now he was a later addition to the Gangsters. GU.
Yep, we picked him up later on after. They weren't taking it so serious in the beginning. After like the first 2 tournaments, we had to move on from our original Gangsters.
Yeah, because actually that's surprising how we had so few kind of roster changes. Because it was also, like I said, it's that interesting dynamic where we're all like landing together, practicing all the time. So it's not like we could just like drop the people we're landing with or something like that really easily. Right. Like you want to make sure you maintain those friendships and do it in a correct manner. But here, actually, we'll run. I'm trying to think. Team Slayer. We could do Halo CE, but I just don't like the fact that why is there radar in there?
Did they just change this? Because I was playing it like 2 nights ago. They must have just updated it.
It's gotta be an accident, right?
Yeah, it's gotta be an accident.
Huh. Oh, whatever. I guess we can just do Team Slayer then. Because I don't want to play with radar.
Whatever.
But so Methods, I would always, for whatever reason, you would always pick on him, which was hilarious.
I got a super funny story after you told us one about Methods.
Okay, so I just remember every single time we would, we'd scrim all day long, just like do lots of 4v4s, and then towards the end of the night, we'd just run like 2 or 3 hours straight of like derelict free-for-alls. Because as we knew back then, that was the way to get out your name individually, like just placing well in the free-for-all. And I'd always placed well in the free-for-all, been pretty dominant in that. So we'd always run games like that. And I just remember all of us, like, I don't know if anyone like smoked cigarettes or anything in the house, but basically nobody was really like drinking, doing that sort of stuff. And Methods was kind of the only one. Like a lot of times he'd come over, bring over beer, and just start getting drunk as we're playing.
I forgot about that.
And that's why I think it was so funny for Pac to rile him up, because Methods would get a little tipsy, and Pac's like, "Oh, outshot again, Methods! Put you on respawn, kid." And Methods was really irritable. Like he was
aggressive.
Yeah, he was an aggressive fellow, that's for sure. And I just remember you always talking trash to him, and every single night at some point he would just stand up and just like flip out on you and just like, "Man, calm down, man. It's just a game." I don't know why you're getting so mad.
Dude, he would get so mad at me. Him and Dirt. Me and Dirt would battle it out real hard too back in the day, like real hard.
Dirt wouldn't take it. He would he didn't have...
He had a little mouth on his little ass back in the day. Dude, but one time, this is hilarious. So Methods, I'm at my house, after school special. I'm playing verse Method. He wants to come over and get some extra practice in.
How far away does he live from you?
He probably live about 30 minutes away or something. A decent drive, not too far though. And I was like, all right, come on over. I'm ready, because I've been playing every day. I was really warmed up that day. And he comes over, dude, and I'm like, 3-shot, dude. Oh god, 3-shot again. I kept saying it to him every time. We had to stop playing, dude. He gets up and he's trying to fight me in my basement. He's like, what the fuck did you say, bro? And I'm like, dude, whoa, this is gonna take it too much. And at that point, I had to back down from him. But yeah, dude, he would try to fight me because I wouldn't stop talking shit to him. And it was funny, dude, just talking shit to kids that, like, because you go to a Halo tournament, not really too many people are talking shit.
No, like, that's the thing is, early Halo 1, when we first started getting into it, you gotta think about it, is everyone had to land the game. There wasn't Xbox Live, so if you are talking trash to somebody, they're in the same room as you. And you either better know them well, either have, like, funny enough trash talk where you can, like, back it up, or, I don't know, you just, you can't run your mouth the same way that a lot of kids get away with online.
Yeah. It's pretty funny to do it live too, especially Dirt, because I usually would just back Dirt up.
Yeah,
and Dirt
would run his mouth.
This little small kid just saying whatever.
Dirt was hilarious. He was also ridiculously good. Now, to put this in perspective, for those that don't know Pac, let's see. I'll pull up the mod real quick. On the right, whoops, wrong one. That is the absolute wrong monitor. Hopefully I didn't give away anything on there. Let's see. Here, maybe? Alright. Pac is on the right. He's a monster. Been working out for like 12, 15 years straight, something like that.
Yeah, I got 12 years in me, probably about 8 in the last 12 without missing even a week. It's a pretty good stat.
But yeah, so it's funny when, like I said, back online you can pretty much run your mouth, really no repercussions for the most part. But yeah, and LANs or at Halo 1 especially, you had to be careful what you said. So I just remember, I forget if it was a free-for-all or 4v4 one time, someone had said something like, "Oh, get destroyed!" And you stand up, you point over the whole team, goes, "Who said that? Which one of you was it? Who said that?" And not a single one of them piped up or said a single word.
I've done that at multiple tournaments too. Which tournament did you think I was doing that one at?
I don't remember. I want to say it was like AGP 3 or something like that.
Oh, was it
like a real early event.
I did it again with like I teamed with Ogre 1 in Orlando 08 for Halo 3. And some kid raped me real hard, and I stood up, I was like, "Who the fuck said that?" Really hard, flexing, and everyone was just dead silent at the tournament. There was probably like 40 people watching. It was pretty funny. Threatening people is always hilarious. And sometimes kids would really want to fight me when I got to the tournaments. Halo 2, I would just talk so much shit just because I thought it was hilarious. And everyone that was around me playing would just crack up.
Well, that's the thing is, I think you have to know each other. Like, for example, when we were back at the house, like, we were saying the exact same things to each other back in the PS house, but we knew that was just, like, fun trash talk. Like, you'd talk about me getting 3'd, I would give it right back. And then Methods is pretty much the only one that would get riled up.
Yeah, he'd get serious. He's the only one.
Like I said, we'd have, like, kind of like those joke, like, trash wrestling things, like, from time to time, but... it was never like fist versus thrones or anything like that. It was,
it never got that serious.
Yeah, it never got serious. It was just everyone knew how to take a joke and how to dish out some trash talk. But it's just funny when like someone outside the scene or randomly at LAN heard it like for the first time and they didn't know how to react. They would either take it super personal or they would, they had no idea how to react a lot of times.
Or if you're playing someone's kids. You don't even realize their parents are in the stand watching. You're sitting there talking shit. I've had that happen. That's pretty funny, but
right, so at some point, eventually later on, it's towards the end of Halo 1, that's when I ended up teaming with the Ogres or whatever, and so that's where you got to know them. We got to know them very well. Obviously, I teamed with them for a few years. We started laying at their place all the time whenever we had the opportunity because they were just the best.
You're just crazy.
They were on a whole different level in Halo 1. It was those two and a gap, and then, I don't know, like, throwing out the top 5, like, I was probably in the top 5, obviously, but there was definitely a gap between those two and whoever happened to be third.
Yeah.
And
especially earlier on, like AGPs,
all
the beginning
they were
tournaments.
Just, they were the first ones I saw like reload glitch from. Because I just remember like putting away a sniper and then he pulls it back out and it's loaded. I was like, what was that? How did that happen?
Yeah, the reload. Yeah, I saw him do the reload glitch, calibrating, and I was like, oh, if they're doing it, they must make you good. Now it's like such an addicting habit for everyone.
Yeah, everyone.
I don't even know if
it
helps.
They started it, yeah. Started it all.
Yeah, they started all the sweet stuff.
So, I don't know if you remember this, but for a while there, so there'd be, like, we were dominating, like, the national scene already. So, when we go to a local, it's pretty much, like, domination. Because at this time, if you think about it, myself, Ogres, and Killer N, we were winning first place in the 4v4, like, Halo 1 terms nationally. So, when we went to something local, which Killer N wouldn't fly out to, he was based in Texas, and so we just put together a local team. And our team for a lot of these events, first off, we'd sign up last second so that people wouldn't know. We'd come out there, and there was a lot of times where it'd be like myself, Pac, and the Ogres. Now, do you happen to remember what our team name was when we went to those events? You came up with it.
Oh my.
No, there's two of them. There's one. There's only one I want to talk about. There's two names, but
I'm thinking of the wrong one.
You're definitely thinking of the wrong one. The one, the one I'm thinking of. Yes, you came up with two different team names, but the one that we signed up with for multiple times is Team Guaranteed First Place.
Oh, nice. That is a. Oh yeah, we went to that like Halo 1/Halo 2 tournament in like Michigan, didn't we?
Yeah, there was just Team Guaranteed First Place, and so
that was such a sick team.
It was, yeah.
I mean, realistically, we should have done that for Halo 1, but Killer N was too nasty.
But yeah, we'd go to locals with that squad, just dominate. You know, it was always interesting because, like I said, a lot of people in Halo 1 didn't know where they stacked up against each other. There wasn't really the online play. XBC wasn't a good showcase of skill. It was pretty much unplayable. You have to land if you want to get good.
Yeah, we started to pull away, or well, at least you guys did, once we started like actually LAN practicing, like when it was my team versus free for all with your team.
Yeah.
That's when I felt like everyone was like, all right, we can beat the Ogres, and then you guys beat them.
Yeah, that's because we had a lot of individual skill. There just happen to be pockets of players where it's like I don't even know if we could have done it with me, you, Dirt, and Dragon Spear, because I don't think Dragon Spear started to taper off towards the end quite a bit. Like he used to be really good early on, then just seemed to either plateau or didn't put in those extra hours. Like he was never the one to like he'd be the first one to stop playing free for alls or to stop gaming, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I remember I was always the last one, free-for-all derelicts till 6 in the morning.
I think I would take, I would almost argue that I would probably take the title there too, though. Like, I think I was gaming, every single time. If someone was still up, like, we'd be taking a lunch break, I would eat real quick, and if anyone wanted to play me 1v1, challenge is open all the time. Just game nonstop.
I remember we played, the first time I came to the PS house, we played, you're like, let's 1v1. I was like, all right, let's do it. And I get a 3-shot on you, so I'm like, all right, that's first kill. I'm like, okay. And then you like 15-2 me. And I was like, whoa, dude, be serious.
Well, yeah, I think for a while there, after I started to get real good at 1v1, like I said, there's probably a point where I lost a 1v1 to Gaddy or something like that, like really early on. But after that, I don't think anyone could touch me in Wizard 1v1 for the longest period. Like, I gamed that so hard. I remember we probably played it 40, 50 times, and I think towards the end, you were starting to take, like, games off me. But I bet if we, out of, like, back at those times, like the PS LAN house time, those times, out of probably 100 games, I'd maybe lose one. Something like that. It was absurd.
My record's probably 1-49. Because there's just, I don't even really remember winning a game. I don't know if I did.
No, there was one time when we were over at Easy's house. I remember losing to you once where you just started porting through every time and just like, you didn't even go for power-ups. You're like, I'm just going to challenge you 1v time every time without power-ups and just tried to take that out of the equation. You saw it pistoled me.
I just did it really quick.
Yep.
Tried to end it before the nading of the power-ups.
Yeah, before the power-ups started falling down. That's the one time I remember losing to you in it. Yeah, it got to the point, too, when we'd even go to locals, I remember. And I wasn't, like, obviously at the time I didn't realize I was being kind of an asshole or cocky, but I was like, do you even want to play this match? Like, or could we just, like, skip this match, like, in tournaments? And you're like, well, I kind of want to play it. I don't want to just give up the thing. And so, like, I'd win the 1v1 tournament and
like I told you, bro.
Because I've had it before. Like, Scythe got to the point where if he matched up against me 1v1 tournament, the last 2 times we matched up, he just forfeited the match. He didn't even play against me.
Scythe!
And he was also ridiculously good. Like, he probably could be placing, like, I bet he could be arguably, like, maybe like a top 8 or top 16 player in Halo 1 1v1, something like that. He was real damn good at it. But
he was a good player.
I felt like
he
I was
came out of nowhere too.
Yeah, like I felt like he was really good at 1v1s. Like I would say like a top 16 would be a conservative answer for that one. But still, like I just felt like early on, when I was going for Wizard 1v1 and really wanted to make a name for myself as an individual player, that's what I did with. So just played so many 1v1s.
Yeah, and then you took out Darkman at AGP3, which was legendary.
Yeah, my first tournament win. A lot of people had seen me barely had seen me the previous tournament. Got a new sub, Turn Beef. Thank you so much, man. And I played against. Oh, never mind. Sorry. But I was gonna say, yeah, I had practiced it so much and just got to a point where I was so comfortable with it, and yeah, I don't think a lot of people expected me to like beat Darkman. I did in pretty dominating fashion. I want to say it was like 25-13, something along those lines.
Yeah, by that point you were like so much past them in skill. Everyone's like, dude, you're smoking them.
Yeah, and I think at that point, at that tournament, I should upload the video or find it at some point, but someone had recorded it from the audience, and was like,
I remember the video.
They're just like, oh my god, I've never seen that before. Like, people, had seen nading down power-ups at the previous tournament, but I was, running around, doing it without standing still, like I was...
Didn't you nade yourself up from, like,
did a grenade jump?
And get overshield or something?
I think it's one of the first times that anyone ever seen, like, a grenade jump. Like, obviously that's pretty much a staple in a lot of hardcore FPSs. Gosh, I am lagging bad. But I had, like, got overshield, grenade jumped up to plat, and then, like, killed Darkman or something like that, and people were like, oh my god! People were going pretty crazy at the time. But, yeah, so I think that was probably both our first kind of, like, I forgot, how did you guys place at AGP3? I know we didn't place insanely good. Like, I think we took, like, maybe 4th or 5th, something like that. I think we lost to Acer.
Oh,
Acer,
yeah.
Killer
I remember
N,
watching from Acer's side.
Dude.
And I was like, oh my god, dude. Oh yeah, another thing you guys mentioned, you were talking about that exact match. That was AP, Amazing Pickles.
Amazing Pickles.
And it was, yeah, Anti was one of the guys on there, Acer, Killer N, and then one other dude, I think, was the team. Or Killer N might have been on TDT too. But I know Acer and Anti were on that team.
Whoever it was, we lost. Yeah, I don't remember what the team name was, but it was definitely Acer, Anti. I just remember Acer and Killer N just wrecking shop. And I just couldn't handle them during that game. I don't remember who their... You said Anti, and who was the 4th? It wasn't Shiz, because he was still on TDT at the time.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It was some Amazing Pickle crew that they had, Texas crew or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't fully remember that crew. But yeah, that was like, it was awesome winning the 1v1, but it was also disappointing in the 4s, because I think both our squads, we got to the point eventually where we, because we land all the time, we knew our like strengths and weaknesses, but I also think that, because we had talked about it eventually at some point, we were like, maybe we should do me, Dragon Spear, Pac, and Dirt, because we felt that we were kind of the both, maybe the top 4 out of that whole 8-person group.
You know what I think screwed that up is that stupid MLG Dallas 3v3 tournament.
Oh, we went to... Did you go to that one or no?
No, I didn't go because I didn't have a threes team, and I don't know, we were kind of talking about maybe putting me in there. Who did you guys pick up as your third?
It was me, Dragon Spear, and Shiz. We went to it.
Oh yeah, Shiz. I think if they would have had a 4v4, then maybe it could have united us, possibly. But I don't know.
I forget if the event after that. I just remember after getting dominated by Killeran early on, after having been dominated by the ogres for a bit already. Like I guess I really haven't even experienced it firsthand at this point. Playing too much against the ogres. I think at some point maybe we had land, but like they were obviously clearly that good, and so I was always in the mindset. I was like, all right, I need to find a team to beat them, and hopefully get them to team with me. So that was kind of the plan early on, but it was, I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, at some point, so I found a way to get Killer on my team where I forget. I was going to...
I was AGP4 when you guys lost to them in the... Or no, you beat them in the finals maybe, or lost to them or something?
No, so what happened, like AGP4 was, I kind of wanted to separate from the initial group because I realized, all right, this local crew that we have right now, like we practiced non-stop for the tournament. Like it was the Philly 04 tournament or something along those lines, where it's all Team Slayer.
Oh, yeah,
I just remember, all right, we just practiced so much.
05.
Okay, no, it was 04. It was the one that Clap and Tree ran. There was one in 04, which was only Halo 1, and we drove down to Philly, and I remember losing like to, it was like Nistic, C Squared, Zyos, and someone. And I was like, wow, we practiced as a team for months leading up to this, and we still lose to a random group of 4 that hadn't practiced together yet. So at this point, I was convinced, I was like, there's no point in teaming with locals because it's all about who has the most individual skill. And so at that point, I was just like, I wanted to get Killeran and Gintron. I forgot how I ran to Gintron, but I remember picking him up for like AGP4, going like him, C Squared, and Killer.
And
yeah,
should we give a shout out what Gintron did at that tournament? Just because Gintron was so nasty. Do you remember what he did when your guys' 2v2 match?
Yeah, we were playing a 2v2 tournament at AGP4. His Wizard Oddball was one of the game types. And I literally ran around with the ball for about a good 2 or 3 minutes without having to shoot once. And he was just 3-shotting every single person. Like to the point where it was literally 3-bullet 3-shots too.
I think he got like 16 in a row is what I ended at when I was counting it from the crowd.
It was insane. I had never seen anything like that before in my life. And I was just running around with the oddball, like just running around, picking up camo, picking up overshield, doing whatever I felt like.
Yeah, that was sick.
But yeah, so I remember, once I found like Gintron, Killeran, I kind of wanted to shy away from the local scene and see if I could pick up people across the nation to beat a team or build a team to beat ogres and stuff, and eventually did that with Killeran, Zyos, and Gintron. Now, I know you had also teamed with Zyos at one point. Any great stories or memories from teaming with Zyos?
Tons of great stories with Zyos. One of my favorite moments with Zyos was when we did the 2v2 at AGP5, me and Zyos 2v2'd, and I think we were playing you and Ogre 1 in Wizard Team Slayer, and we're getting smashed early on, like 25-10 or something crazy like that. And Zyos is just looking at me and he's just shaking his head at me. And I'm like, dude, he's like, Puck! And he starts yelling at me. He's like, Puck, dude, we practice! And I was like, dude, we practice nading down one power-up.
So he's just expecting you to like nade down these power-ups, get control of them, and just destroy or something.
But dude, he was the most intense, but the funnest teammate. I would always team with him just because he took it so serious. But
he was a serious competitor. Yeah, dude, he was a character, man. He was serious in his own way. Also had this unique sense of humor, where
he was funny.
When he shit talked, it was hilarious and intimidating though. Cause he
had classic lines, dude, like ogre, sit down, or I don't know what he used to say, but they were like stuck and everybody like knew
dude, he made some, like you said, he instantly had classic lines that stuck with everyone. They were always hilarious.
And he's still talked about. He's still like one of the most famous gamers. He hasn't played in 7 years.
Someone posted in the chat, goes, "It's called teamwork, Hachi."
Yeah, there it is. That's like the most famous line ever. And Zios said it 7 years ago. So yeah, he's a great teammate to have. Okay, dude, I remember another tournament. Okay, this is like the highlight of my Halo 2 career. Czech 6, Houston 05. We beat you guys in Game 5 of the Winners Bracket Finals, and to move on, we actually ended up losing that tournament real close. But Zios, you were talking about in the last Halo history, Zios was, or some, maybe it was, you were broadcasting actually on, I think you were broadcasting on one of the H2A tournaments. Zios was turreting someone down. The only person to use a turret in tournament play, and was getting multiple kills.
Because pre-patch, they had Foundry, CTF,
Yeah.
I think it was called Foundry, or Foundation. And there was, you couldn't shoot cross map with your BR, so he's just sitting there talking shit as he's turning people across map. Got another 1 week, fellas. Down, double kill. You're just like, what are we supposed to do about this?
Or he'd be like, next, next. That was another one that he had. Yeah, but I couldn't believe he pulled that off, dude, in tournament play and being good at it. I was like, nice, bro. And then we ended up winning the match. It was just awesome. We were so intense then. It was so fun. That was the best tournament I had probably for Halo 2.
So Zios, he's famous for some of his lines, but also like the way he conducted quote unquote like business, like is called like a business decision whenever he drops somebody or have a talk. I remember when I first had the call with him, and I was prepared for this kind of reaction, but I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna team with Killer N and the Ogres. We're splitting ways. I had a great time teaming with you, and I think you're a great player, but I just really think the Ogres are on another level. And we had talked about that, and he was just like, you realize this means you will never be able to team with me ever again. And I was like, I understand that. Like I said, I don't know if there's any good way to go about this. He was like, nope, he didn't really say much beyond that. He's like, all right, well, good luck in the next tournament. And of course, like the next tournament, we didn't drop a single game. I don't even think someone capped a single flag on us next tournament or something like that.
What was the next tournament after that?
Maybe it was Seattle 04, something like that. I don't remember. I just remember
our team was Zios in Seattle 04.
I just remember it being something like
place.
we had the other teams only capped one flag in us all tournament. We didn't lose a single game, so obviously we were freaking dominant. We went as team domination at the time too.
That was team dom. That was sick back in the day. We were all getting free shoes every tournament.
Yeah, unless he was like sponsored by, what was it, like
I don't get 20
Nokia and Converse.
Free shoes is cool for me.
Yeah, so that was like the beginning of that, but yeah, there was just I think at some point after that, like Zios and we ended up landing a bit because we were teaming or we were practicing for WCG, the 1v1 event. And I just remember it was a grind, man. Like I would wake up in the morning, like Zios would be above my bed, wake me up, and first thing I see, wide eyes, is Zios is above me. He's like, Walshy, it's time to game. Like, all right, just give me like 10 minutes, man, so I can go shower and stuff. He's like, okay, I will meet you over in the gaming room in 10 minutes. And I'm just like, I get over there, he's already like warming up, practicing. He was such a hard gamer, man.
I wish he would have never quit.
Games so much.
I know you should see him and Killer N go at it at your house, dude. Killer N would always do crazy, like lucky shit that never should have been done, like miracle plays nonstop, and Zios would just be yelling in the other room. Pissed. Killer N would just be laughing.
No, Killer N was like sometimes he'd laugh, but
he wasn't sure if he was okay to laugh or something like that.
Do you remember one time he destroyed Zios and he was like, he honestly asked, because Killer N was a he was a unique guy. Like it's sometimes very hard to read him. Like he didn't have the same like exact sense of humor like we all had. But I remember one time he destroyed Zios in like a 1v1, like 15-1 or 15-2, and he goes over and asks him like, "Were you like trying that last game?" Like being completely serious, asking that to Zios because he just assumes Zios wasn't trying because he just wrecked him so hard. And Zios, I don't remember what he did, but he flipped in some way, like to the point where he's like in the other fucking room, like, and because Zios was a fierce competitor, man. He took it serious. He was never a person that could like take a loss and like laugh it off, and that was that was one of the scary things about him, though, too, because it's like you realize he was not going to sell anything less than first. He wasn't afraid to get angry and, just use that motivation to, like, improve.
He also made more money than I think anyone did at Halo 1. Maybe.
Probably with WCG win. Like, there was very low prize money back then, and there was a annual tournament called WCG where nobody really knew about it. It was a horrible weapon set where it was custom start, which meant almost every map you started with a plasma pistol. So if the other person got rockets or pistol, you were just done for. There's nothing you could do. Literally nothing you could do. Like, a mediocre player could have a pistol and you could have combos. Like, as long as they don't just get hit by your grenades, like, there's nothing they can do. And he had won that first year and won 20 grand. So the next year came around. We decided to practice for it together. A couple lands, because we realized, hey, like, this is worth a lot of money. We both did our local qualifiers. We both realized we actually originally were going to go in and just split. Actually, that's what we agreed on. We were going to go in and split whatever we both won. Because we assumed we practiced together, we'd take first and second, and we have 30 grand between the two of us, so 15 grand apiece. Wouldn't matter. I ended up, that tournament, ended up losing to G-Spot. My excuse for that, besides G-Spot being really good, was one way that we started practicing is we started jacking up the volume when we started playing 1v1s in Halo, because you can actually hear footsteps from a very far distance, to the point where you could sit like in the middle of Creek on Battle Creek and you could hear like, oh, they're coming over from Red Base or Blue Base, and it was just so easy to hear footsteps. And they didn't really have a headphone jack at the event, or you weren't able to turn up the volume. And so one thing is, like, you'll notice if you ever watch that VOD is I'm like kind of like crouch walking around or slowly moving around trying to hear footsteps and just like get surprised by G-Spot. And G-Spot was an incredible player. So even if I had the sound, we'd have to see what would have happened. I still think, he played much better than me on like Wizard there. And yeah, he definitely outplayed me at the event. But long story short is, I remember going to his house, like, don't do the sound stuff. Like, it's pointless. You just got to either go no headphones and jack up volume. And I also kind of told him how G-Spot played. We had land together. We had talked about doing a split. And since I had placed low, I think I got like 5 grand from that tournament. Zaus got 20 grand. He just kind of like never talked to me after that. And we never talked about split. But in his defense, maybe he just didn't want to split because, I took third. Yeah, and I would have been willing to do something along the lines where, like, maybe I'd take the expected 5 since I would have gotten, had I gotten second, something like that. But just never heard from him, and that's kind of stuff that would happen back in the Halo days a little bit.
That's how Zaus was.
It's also, we didn't have it, like, written in paper. It's also, we didn't communicate as clearly, but...
another funny thing about Killer N, I forgot to mention when you were talking about how he like kind of talked shit and didn't mean it. The first time I ever played Killer N, I played him and Acer 2v2. Me and Biggie did, warming up at that 2004
probably the Halo Nationals
Philly tournament.
Philly, yeah.
We played him Wizard 2v2, first game of the day, and me and Biggie, we lose 50-7.
Oh my god.
And I go up to Killer N, I'm like, Jesus, dude, you guys are sick, man. Good luck, bro. And he's like, oh. He just shakes his head. He's like, man, I'm just warming up. I'm like, dude, what, bro?
He knew how to shut your confidence down, man. Like, dude, it's so hard to explain to someone who didn't game back in the day how sick Killer N was at Halo 1. Like,
nobody will know. What he did was... He actually, he would bend the game.
He had the first, people saw, whip shot, where it's, everyone had the steady shot, and he just, scanned across the map, 2 or 3 times, just, get these whippy headshots every single time. It's just like, oh my god, I need to start trying to do that. He would basically time it with, he would always hit it, just whip back and forth, because I think he played, 5 cents, something like that.
Yeah, 5 cents. I remember it was kind of toxic for me later on when I started
teaming
with him all the time. I freaking tried to shoot like him too much, and then I wasn't able to shoot as good.
Yeah, I was able to slow it down, but I didn't have the same sort of whip shot that he had because he played on a higher sense. But oh shoot, I was gonna say, early events, we would be playing against, it was Ogres, their old squad, StK, which had been Ogres, Clockwork Saiyan, or Ogres, Strange Purple Saiyan, or whatever it happened to be, Either way, we play against these rosters. We would just get Killer on power-ups, get him an overshield in Rat Race. So Rat Race, a map where there's just an overshield in the camo. And you'd start to have these standoffs where you're fighting for these power-ups. And we would just set it up so Killer gets this overshield. He grabs overshield, drops down, just 3 shots, 2 or 3 of them, just runs back up and does the same thing over and over again. Drops over a 20 bomb on the Ogs and StK.
That was really how you guys set it up. Did you mean to set it up in like that in the beginning?
I don't think so, because a lot of times
here he's like, I'm gonna go for
well, a lot of times it wasn't explicitly set up like that. But I remember at one point, Killer had done that 2 or 3 times, and I was the one closest to overshield. I got the next overshield, I go down, and I get melted. I go like 1 for 1, and I just die, and I was like, let's get that next overshield to Killer on.
I mean, I remember in Derelict CTF practicing versus you guys, he would non-stop have rockets, and you could never stop Killer N with rockets on Derelict. Never. An impossible person to stop with the power-ups early on. Impossible.
Yeah, he was just
an ogre
insane.
killer.
Yeah, he was what was needed to take down ogres. Ogres even mentioned it early, admittedly back then, like, well, truthfully, we just wanted to team with Killer N, but you two came as a package, and we realized if we had Killer N on our team, we'd be unstoppable. And then I think it took ogres a little bit of playing with me to realize like I was that ridiculously good too, and that's where we ended up eventually splitting ways with Killer N and going on for our Halo 2 run for a few years or whatever it was.
Killer N was just by far the flashiest player to ever play Halo 1.
Dude, that's crazy to think about, because I keep thinking, like, alright, so I started teaming with ogres in, like, in 2004 at some point, and then we stopped teaming in 2008. We're talking, like, 4+ years of teaming together. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Or about 4 years. Someone quit. Hopefully the other one will quit.
Typical. Yeah, it's a long time to team with a group of people.
But we had so many fun lands there. Oh my god. Ogre lands. That's what we gotta talk about.
Okay.
So they had the sickest setup back in the day. Like,
unlimited oranges.
When we're
Ogre's father.
Dude, yes. Ogre Dad is the frickin' man.
Just coolest guy ever too.
Yeah, such a nice guy. We would so first off, comparing to our old trash house at in Lansing with the PS crew, anything next to that was godly. But they had such an incredible basement, like that was perfectly set up, had the perfect TVs, like the perfect Trinitrons or wherever it happened to be. Perfect game.
You didn't need to leave either. They had a shower and a kitchen there.
In the basement, yes. That's right. And yeah, it was just so much fun there. Like oh god, so many freaking memories there. I'm trying to think of even where to begin. Like, we could talk about Halo lands and just like first getting to play against them 2v2. That's something that people never get to experience either. Like, we talked about how people never understand how good Killer N was in Halo 1, like early days. People have no idea. Like, I am not exaggerating when I say that the ogres were the best in Halo 1, and then there was a gap, and then, you know, you could argue who's like 3rd, 4th, whatever it happens to be. We played them, like, first off, it was rare to ever get them to play together, 2v2. We'd always do our winter lands, and we'd do 2v2s, like Halo 1 for the most part. And their justification was like, well, it's not fair if we're together. And it's true, though. They were that freaking good. Any single time that they did ever play together, they would be on opposite teams. Not opposite teams. Anytime they did play together, they would always off-host. Always off-host. Because if they're on host, I don't even want to know what that's like. I don't think I ever played against them when they were on host.
They refused to do it.
And I could go through, like, talk about multiple series where we just, you know, where we swipe right through the playlist, go through, like, Chill Out, Hang 'em High, Priz, go through the whole list and not win a single game against them in a 2v2 series as we're hosts. Like, me and Pac are hosts. And, like, me and Pac are really good players. Like, both of us, I would say at the very end of Halo 1, I would say it was probably all our team, and you were probably, like, the top 5, like, as far as skill goes and stuff, towards the end of Halo 1.
And they were...
Like, earlier on, I wouldn't have put you in my top 5, but at the very end, you were definitely in my top 5. But, yeah, alright, so, do you remember the one time, now this is, I wish we took pictures, I wish we, well, we definitely celebrated, that's for sure.
I'd have a plaque, I'd put a trophy up. I remember one day we got them to play together all day, and we got our shot.
Yeah, we caught fire, so we were playing the absolute best games of our life, like, Pac and I, 3-shot every single time, getting good spawns, getting good random spawns, all sort of things, and we actually beat them in one series of 2v2. Like, I want to say probably like best of
Maybe
5 or
best
best
of
of
five?
7. I don't. How many would we go through? Let's see. We would swipe. So we go
Would we go Battle Creek?
1, 2,
Would we do
3,
7?
4, 5, 6,
Six.
7, 8, 9.
I think
Did
we
we do
would
the whole
skip
thing?
rat
Did
race
we
and do
did we do
6.
longest and? Yeah, we played everything. I'm pretty sure we didn't even do rat race for sure. Rat race.
Would we?
I think we did all 9. So I think we won a best of 9. Maybe we'd skip Dairy and Wizard, but I don't really remember. I think we honestly did a best of 7 or best of 9. Either way, yeah, we definitely had to do the full series because they wouldn't have ended if we just came ahead. So we won some sort of best of 9. I'm sure it was like 5-4 or whatever it happened to be.
Yeah.
And first off, like I said, we were playing the absolute best games of our life. They were playing the worst I've ever seen them play. Yet, even when we were winning our games, it was like 50 to 47, like barely winning. They were just that freaking good. Like, they got first shot on you, you'd lose. You miss a shot on them, they're going to outshoot you. They just did everything perfect. They were so damn good.
Yeah, I can honestly say to this day, too, nobody will beat those ogres together in 2004. Ever.
That's true.
Possible.
Like, you have people that have been playing the game a ton since, like,
Yeah. We got 10 new players now.
Yeah.
Grind consistently.
Like, I'm seeing some people in here now, like, I see Hallie in here. We played against him, Halo 1 2v2 recently. Like, he was wrecking. Like, I forget. There were some embarrassing scores beating me on in some Halo 1 2v2s. But even then, even if he was playing as good as he was now, like, you take the Ogres back in their prime, 04, not a contest, man.
Split screen?
Oh, God, yeah. They did perfect screen watches, perfect shot. Their snipe was uncontestable. Like, best snipe in the game, Halo 1, without a doubt.
Ogre 1, too, used to be
Oh my
so
God.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, just playing. I used to do a lot of 2v2s with them when we land at their house, and dude,
It was so fun having an ogre on your team when you're playing 2v2s. It was so much fun having 2 ogres on your team when you're playing 4vs4s.
just getting one of the ogres on my team 2v2, I was happy. If I played with anybody else at the LAN, I just wasn't as happy.
Oh, God. It was so depressing. Like, we'd do draws for LANs, or I don't remember, because we'd always do so many 2v2 tournaments. And every once in a while, like, we would, you'd get stuck with, like, Jones or something like that. Which, he was good. He was a good player, like, compared to people who aren't ogres. But when we're at those winter lands, we're talking the best of the best players at these winter lands.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Sane would I remember
Sane
Sane
was
would
sick.
tear it up, too.
Sane was a bit more streaky than Oaks,
Yeah.
but I don't think Killer N ever came out to Winterland.
No, he never did, dude. That's what sucked. Killer N had a short life in Halo 1, but
He was
people
still
could
sick in
just get
Halo
footage,
2. Yeah.
they'll be like, what the heck? You can't even believe he's doing this stuff. What he did, I've never seen anybody play like that. Can't give him
Yeah.
enough credit for being the sickest.
He was so sick. It's true.
Him and Acer, remember when Acer did the 2-shot running?
Oh,
plasma
I've
rifle
never
charge
seen that
in terms of
ever
play?
done yet. I've never seen it since. So, for those that don't know, in Halo 1, the melee physics are slightly different, where if you're standing while you melee, it does a set amount of damage. If you're running forward while you melee, it does a higher amount of damage. And you also can't be touching the person as you're running up to melee them. So, for example, if I was to show this off, like, this would count as the running melee, where I'm still moving forward with that. Like, even though I'm running forward right now and I'm melee, that would not count as the running forward damage. So one time in tournament, there had to be VOD of it, because I watched it at least 20 times, where Acer, someone drops down next to him in main room, chill out, he does 2 shots, melees, with the plasma rifle for the kill. He also had the most ridiculous way of holding a controller.
Oh, yeah.
Here, we have...
Both, yeah, you gotta, if you can remember, I can remember.
He had 2 fingers on the right joystick, like
and
this.
And the left.
And the left. Oh, that's right. He moved around like this.
He pinched both thumbs.
Yeah, it was nuts. He pinched both
these
these.
Controllers,
like
and then
this.
he had 2 claws. One on each side, one for the left trigger and one for the right trigger, and then he had his middle finger claw to hit the buttons.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he definitely had a claw as well, and then I don't know if he was like pulling the right trigger with his pinky or his like ring finger. I don't really know, man.
The hardest way to hold a controller, he mastered it. Dude, the first time I seen him play, he got a double kill-tacular to start the game in round of 32 in the free-for-all off-host. I was like, whoa, dude. I was like right next to him, like, damn, this kid's on another level. He's like this little 13, or he's probably like 15.
He looked like one of the band members from Hanson. He looked like it was like long hair, kind of looked like either like younger like surfer type or something like that. I don't really know, but he literally looked like the youngest one from the band Hanson. If you remember what that was back in the day, that's exactly what he looked like.
Just sicker than crap too.
Yeah, let's just quit out of this game if this guy's not gonna leave.
No, I'm out.
People are saying it was an accident. They actually added radar. That sucks. Of course, as we're doing our Halo history, we have to deal with radar.
They can't just put a rank on there, isn't it? Just like a switch. Press the switch. The ranks are on.
All right, I'll invite you back. But God, yeah, Acer, Killer N, so sick. Ogres, different level, man. Like we keep talk. I think we keep talking about Acer and Killer N at some point because they never really were highlighted nearly as much. Like people back in the day realized how good they were, but if you didn't know about back in the day, like they were that freaking good. It's just crazy, like seeing people come out. Like even when the first time we met each other, like at that tournament, it was so rare to find a good Halo player back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, after you start getting your local lands together or whatever, but if you ever got challenged by someone else, you're like, this person's going to be a freaking joke at Halo 1. Like, it's a Halo 1 land scene. Like, we practice nonstop so we know who's good, who's not. Yeah. And anytime you saw someone new kind of come out of the scene, it's just like, oh my god, this person's the real deal. So, yeah, let's do the Team Slayer playlist so people get less quit outs, I guess. I want to do more Halo 1. We could probably even put Halo 1 in this, but it probably won't go through.
Yeah, if we can get the other guys, maybe.
But oh my gosh!
What I just had to throw out a big shout to the Ogres 2v2 because unstoppable. Nobody can beat them today. All those there's some sick combinations of kids.
Yeah.
And nobody can beat them. Saying that right now, no one.
Yeah, they were that ridiculously good. The fact is, like I think I agree with you saying even the people that still play to this day, if you took the Ogres in their prime and the ones that have been playing for like 10 years, I still think the Ogres would win.
Oh yeah, I'd always bet on them.
It'd have to be the ones prime. Like if you put the Ogres against them right now, I'm sure they'd take the games out of them online. Like a lot of people have been playing Halo 1 for like the past 10 years. Been playing Halo 1 MCC since its release, and I'm sure Ogre 1 hasn't even touched it in 10 years. Like not that long, but he hasn't probably touched it in 5 or 6 years. But
yeah, he can never return to his normal form, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh my god. Alright, what other...
I remember one time at the Ogre's house, though, this is a big LAN. I think we were playing Halo 2 and Halo 1. It was during tournaments or something. I LANed for 36 hours straight. This was the most hours LANed at the time, I think, by an individual. I know the Florida kids got it doubled now. They LAN for like 70 hours, some crazy way that's impossible. I don't know how they do it. Because 36, I was a freaking zombie falling asleep.
I would pretty much game until I fell asleep.
Played like 8 hours of no-scope snipes, 4-man split screen on Priz for 8 hours straight.
Just going for like montage clips or something.
Yeah, no scopes for 8 hours straight.
It's funny because I think that was maybe one of the first Winter Lands we started to record, and we didn't even use any of those clips because we were like, oh, well, we're just playing no scope snipes. Like, why would we use these clips? But I think every once in a while we'd get like a triple kill. It's just nuts. Like
something crazy. Those lands were fun, and dude, when you were playing versus the Ogres, you'd just get so frustrated because they would just smoke you every single time almost. You'd have to walk a very thin line, hit all your 3 shots, make sure you're on time for the power. Any little mistake and they're just ruining your day.
Yep. You do everything right, yeah, that one little misstep costs you. Like, they find that one little angle to snipe you from when you have rockets. You lose rockets, guess what?
Game's over. No coming back. Yeah, I wish they had footage from the AGPs, man. There was so much sweet footage.
I think someone could tell me. Maybe Reddit or Team Beyond might have some links to some old school ones. But yeah, I think a lot of that footage is lost. So
yeah, I saw like some of the Team Beyond stuff. It's like one game from each tournament. So nothing. No, like they only got like the main clips, main stage. One game per tournament. Oh, dude, one thing that I don't know if you've even thought about in a while is the 50K3 state versus state tournament.
Oh, Michigan proved that we were the best. Sword pick 2.
Oh shit! Got me. Yeah, we won that.
My teammate's about to leave.
The Ogres will deny it, but we beat them in the 4v4. And the state versus state, we got guest sub Clockwork.
Oh, wait, yeah. Clockwork still classified as Michigan? Is that how it worked?
Yeah,
because I think he had just moved to
Seattle.
Seattle, yeah, because he got a job with Microsoft. But
yeah, I remember our B team smoked the Ogres on Chill Out or something.
yeah, once the B team won, we knew it was over. Like, if it, I don't know if it's both Ogres. Yeah, I think it had to have been because I remember them losing the game. Where it's like, we're like, how's that happen?
Ogres, Mystic, and that other local they had. I can't remember his name.
Did Puckett play in it?
I don't think Puckett, but they had a better local.
Yeah, they had a sick, obviously, local scene.
Yeah.
We definitely overall had the better one, but you know, you look at just the fact that they had Ogres, they had the better scene probably.
Yeah. And Mystic, Ogres and Mystic pretty much.
Yeah, Mystic was good.
For him. Yeah, that was fun though. We took them down, and then you guys beat them 50-49. Game fucking 5.
Dude,
the
yeah, that was one of
all time.
Yeah, one of the most memorable tournaments. The fact that like beating Ogres, showing that they're human, and I don't know if that was that was the second tournament. Because the first one they were like, oh, well, we didn't take the tournament serious. Like, oh, come on, man, how are you not gonna take the tournament serious? Well, I guess I believe them too. I guess they just land the week before and just played shoddy caps, Chiron shoddy caps. Where they would play
Killer
zero.
N's coming out just smoking everyone too. That's where when Killer N goes nuts. Those videos, man.
Dude, yeah, he like I said, both tournaments. Well, actually, I don't know if it's just a 50K3 one or whatever, but both tournaments at one point he had a Team Slayer game. They dropped 20+ kills. So when you have that happen, it's just nuts, especially against who it's against. Even if you do that against a random team, it's pretty impressive. But the fact that you do it against Ogres.
And not even care. Not even think twice about it. Dude, the sword's so bad in this game.
It's so different going from the Halo 2 sword, man. You just fly across the map. Oh. Dude, I'm trying to think of what it's so hard to think of like stories right now because it's just there's honestly countless stories. The fact that we've land together, this is no exaggeration. We pretty much land together every single weekend for a couple years straight. Would be my guess. Every
weekend.
The
new block at your house.
The what was it?
The new block.
What
was like the very first time we ended up beating you guys in like a series, PS. And we came upstairs and we're like, kind of like, yeah, what's up? Beat you guys. And Dragon Spears just starts yelling out, new block!
What was new block again?
It was just to come upstairs. And
oh yeah. Anytime you would win, he was just like, oh, here comes the new block, because you guys would like come over and brag when you'd get a win.
We wouldn't keep playing. We'd have to stop, pause, and be like, all right, listen, we just beat you guys. I want you to know that. New block.
God, I just thought of a different one. What was it? Oh my god. I'm gonna forget now. Dude, yeah. Can't think of it now. It was something to do with Dragon Spear. I can't think what it was now. Whatever.
It's gotta be hilarious. Dragon Spear is a funny guy. Trojan was pretty funny too.
Just that, yeah, it was such a crazy crew, man. I should find some of the old pictures, like, of us, like, on the road trip over to AGP3 or whatever it was. That's what I need to start doing for Halo Histories, is maybe bring up some old pictures if I have some lying by. But, like, a lot of times, I don't have the stuff premeditated, what we're going to, like, talk about. Like, at this point, it's just whatever ridiculously funny stories we can think about. And I can't think of the Dragon Sphere.
I saw someone in your chat a little bit ago say, "Tell Pac about the microwave."
Oh. So we talked about before that things would never really escalate between players. However, that was quite different between Pac and Dirt. So Pac and Dirt had this interesting dynamic where when they were together on a team destroying other people, it was ridiculous. They were playing sick. But when they started getting in each other's faces, started talking trash to each other, Dirt sometimes would, I don't know who I should say should take it overboard, because you're the one that made this happen. So I guess, like I said, Pac, I don't think you ever were trash. I don't think anyone was dumb enough to trash wrestle you back at the PS house.
Yeah,
Dirt was the only one that
kind of wrestled.
Oh, alright, so I remember what I was going to talk about, but yeah, we can finish microwave first. But yeah, I guess I'm sitting in the hotel room it was like the day before, what was it, Halo 50K3 in Atlanta. This was like 04.
Yeah, day before.
And I'm just sitting in the room, I forget if I was playing split screen Halo 1 or something. We had a TV in there, just gaming a little bit. And Dirt comes in, his head is all bloody. And he's he's just swearing up a storm. I was like, dude, what the hell is going on? Dirt just has kind of some, there's just a lot of blood over his hair. And I was like, oh, dude, chill out. Go over to the sink, wash it out. I'm not a doctor or anything, but let's see how bad this cut is. And I had no idea what happened. And Pac comes in the room, huffing and puffing. I'm just like, dude, what just happened? You're like, I don't know if I use explicit expletives, but he was like, he kept running his mouth, and he got microwaved. I was like, what do you mean he got microwaved? You're like, I chucked him into the microwave. I was like, are you kidding me, Dirt? Your back of your head hit the microwave at the bed and breakfast over at Motel 6, or wherever the hell we were. I don't even know if anyone else was in the breakfast area, but maybe you could tell me a bit better, what exactly went down.
It was me, Dirt, and Scythe, maybe? Was Scythe
Gintron was there, and Silas.
No, Sergio was.
Sergio was there.
Yeah, Sergio. So I'm in that little place eating food with Dirt, and Dirt is just lighting me up for some reason. He's just killing.
I was gonna say you're not even gaming. You guys just trash talking back and forth for no reason.
We just would start to get in those mode where we've been around each other for so long, we're getting sick of each other. But we should start bickering about everything. And then all of a sudden, I just remember raging, and I can't take one more word coming out of his mouth. So I just take him, and I just pick him up pretty much, and just chuck him across the room. And his head hits the microwave, and he's like, dude, I gotta go to the hospital and shit. And I remember you were looking at it after you cleaned it up, and you're like, oh, dude, it's just a little scab.
Yeah, it really wasn't. It wasn't worth going to, no need for stitches or anything. It's just a pretty shallow cut. But I just remember coming back.
Got physical for me.
Yeah, really. I was gonna say that's one of the things. You Michigan gangsters would get real lippy with each other. And sometimes it escalate, but
yeah.
One story I was about to talk about is. So, as you can tell, Dirt, and all the GU people back in the day were a bit of instigators. But I remember one time we're getting ready to land, and for some reason GU only shows up with 3 members. It was Pac, Easy, and 50. Can you explain what happened to Dirt on that trip?
So Dirt, basically, what he did to me in Atlanta, did the same thing to Easy on the ride to the land. And I don't know what he actually said, dude. Just talking shit, running his mouth.
He was
young. And then Easy's like, "Get out of my car." And he pushed him to get out, and we left him at this random gas station. I don't even know how he got home.
From what I hear is Dirt was just running his mouth against Easy, and Easy's like, "Yo, you haven't even ever given me gas money for any of these trips. You're not being respectful right now," or something along those lines. And he was like, "Give me gas money, or I'm tossing you out of my car right now." And so, yeah, can you hear me? Pac? Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
I can't hear him now.
Oh, I can still hear you. Some Skype difficulties. We'll see if he can hear me in a second. Or maybe I'll restart the call. Yo, can you hear me?
Oh, I can't hear you now for some reason.
I'm calling him back. Yo, can you hear me now? Hey, can you hear me now?
There we go. Can
Better?
you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? Is this really not working?
Yo, can you hear me? Dude, Yo, I'm on the main part now. Should I do a hard reset or something?
Yo, can you hear me in the game or here?
No, I can't. I can't hear you, but...
Hello?
Hold on a sec. I'm
Can you
gonna
hear me?
reset.
You can probably hear me through the game. Yeah, just reset your stuff.
What?
Yeah, just reset your stuff. Well, while he resets that, to my understanding of the story, it was like, yeah, they just ended up having Easy drag Dirt out of the car. They just left him at a gas station like a hour away from their house. Dirt didn't have a ride. They just came over, laying the whole time. And I don't know how Dirt got back home, like got a ride home from someone back at his hometown or something like that. But it was just crazy because I was like, this kind of sucks. Now we don't have 8 for lands. Like Dirt was one of the better players, one of the best players we had in our local scene. So, but while Pac is getting his stuff figured out, I'm just gonna run to the bathroom. I apologize on YouTube too. I'm not sure if I'm gonna cut this out, but pretty much just fast forward about 1 minute from now if you're watching this on YouTube, and I'll be right back. Twitch chat. Alright, let's see if I can call him back. Yo, you there? Well, I should probably wait till he answers.
Yo.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes. Not sure what happened there. I told the end of the story just letting them know that we ended up having like a 7-person LAN, or maybe had Gaddy fill in, or I don't even remember what we did.
I think it was difficult, though. It, like, screwed things up.
It was what?
It screwed things up not having Dirt.
Oh, it definitely screwed up the LAN, because I was saying that he was one of the best players that we had in our scene. Like, so not having him and like having like Gaddy fill in, like, we couldn't play fours. I think we just did a lot of free-for-alls or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But
I remember we had to have my friend Ellsworth sub in one of the times for Dirt. Because Easy was about to never team with him again after that.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened after that. There was a couple lands where if he had a different squad or whatever, he had to start coming back immediately. So yeah, I don't remember not having Dirt there very often. Like he maybe missed once or twice, maybe that one time, and maybe the time after, as you guys figured out the gangster situation. But
yeah, Easy got real gangster. I remember Easy would get pissed, dude. One time on the way to AGP3, the Ogres beat us so bad on our host XBC, like 50-30 or something like that, 2v2. And Easy was threatening to smack him in the face when they got there.
The Ogres?
Yeah, the Ogres. Ogre 1 came up to me and he's like, "So you're gonna smack me in the face?" I was like, "Nah, dude, that wasn't me. That's my teammate." A little bit. That was pretty funny though.
One story I was thinking of as we were on that short break there was you had a bit of a Halo 2 run, but I think this also came to be one of Zyos's most favorite quotes, or like most famous quotes that I can remember. One that wasn't involving myself. I remember after a tournament, he gave you guys some sort of motivational speech. It was, I believe, you, Zyos, Sergio, and I forgot who the fourth was at the time. But do you know what I'm talking about?
In Orlando of 05?
I don't remember, but all I know is he just said, I think you guys took second to us, he goes, something along the lines, he goes, well, we lost for 2 reasons, or 3 reasons. 1, Sergio, you didn't practice enough. You're probably going to have to quit your job. 2, Pac, you were in jail. And 3, I forgot exactly what it was. I think it was something like, we didn't practice enough. 2, Pac, you were in jail. And 3, Sergio, you might have to quit your job.
It was at Orlando. That was my downfall. I had been placing second for like 2 years straight almost. We lose to StK, and that was a big hit to us. And then afterwards, we're all talking outside, and he's like, "All right, Sergio, you're gonna have to quit your job." Killer M was on our team. He's like, "You guys, we all have to practice more. And Pac, you gotta stay out of jail, man." Something like that. And I was in jail for like court fines or something retarded, like DUI. I don't know what it was, but yeah, that was the end for me, for my top runs at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say it got to the point where early on, like Halo 1 stuff, I would say we all, and you especially, took it super serious, and then I think you stopped taking it as serious or started going a little stray towards the end.
Like, I was just like, I never like really practiced that much. I was just based off my Halo 1 skill, and then I was like, you kind of lose like, you know, gaming every night where you're just gaming, and you kind of lose like going out with friends and stuff. So,
yeah, you have to sacrifice a lot if you want to be a top player.
Yeah, I was like 20 years old, you know. I was like,
definitely with priorities.
My friends are calling
especially
me,
if you aren't winning like every event or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's tough to justify. Where it's like, yeah, you could practice every night, and you know, even if you took second. Like
or if it was nowadays, where we can make money like with Twitch or whatever, just like other options where there's more sponsors, like maybe it would have been more serious for us then, or for me at least.
Yeah, I definitely missed out. I didn't really party at all, like my early 20s or anything. Didn't really go out too often. I was very, very focused on Halo.
I should have been, but I just like couldn't. I wanted to though, at heart. I wish I would have, but after like 05, and then I went on that run with Victory and Macchio 06.
Yeah,
which
for those that
we
are curious about that,
been a top 3 team.
You can tune in the last episode of Halo History where Victory was on. He talked about that quite in depth, talking about all the early tournaments like you and Dirt and Macchio.
Yeah, and we would have been way better, dude. I never even practiced, dude. I barely remember practicing like 2 weeks before a tournament. I'd practice, and that was about it for every tournament.
Who else was like that was early on Gintron. Like when I first had his team, he was always missing in action. Like we would call him. Like I remember like a week or 2 before a tournament, it was impossible to even get a hold of him. Like this is back then, I think, when more people probably even had like, I don't even think he had a cell phone. So I remember calling like his house phone. They'd be like, "Well, Gintron's over his grandma's." It's like, well, this is kind of important. Can I get his grandma's number, and like having to call through and ask for Gintron. Like, call him through, find his family, and ask him, like, dude, you come to this tournament? He's like, oh, when is it again? Like, what do you mean? Like, I've been practicing every day for, like, the last month getting ready for this tournament. What do you mean, when is the tournament?
And then he'd show up and
he'd just show up in 3-shot, yeah. That's the craziest part. Is he was
like,
still
dude,
just
would
that.
You just practice, man, so we can win everything?
And we still won. That's the crazy part. We won that tournament as well, and then at that point I was just like, you know, like Gintron was sick, Killer and Zaus were all sick, but we just knew the Ogres were on a different level in Halo 1, man.
Yeah, they were. Truly amazing. Truly amazing to watch. It was watching, dude. The first time I saw them too, I was like AGP3, and they were playing. I think I saw one of them play free for all for like 2 seconds. That was the actual first time, but then after that, I saw them play like on main stage. Derelict CTF versus the first round, pulls out the sniper, first 3 kills, triple kill, all headshots.
Jesus, man. Yeah,
I was one of the Oaks.
I was confident against them in free for all or 1 versus 1 because I mean back then it's like Wizard 1v1, and I was, you know, I could beat them in that. But when it came down to like 2 versus 2s or anything with sniping, they just were so freaking insane.
Crazy,
they were so good at screen watching, like knowing where they should go, and just did everything right, man. They always spawn you correctly. They would always, if they had to get a kill with the rockets or get a clutch kill before they died, they would get it, guaranteed.
It's almost hard to play with them because you want to do so good.
Yeah.
And if you mess up at all, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, you like feel bad if you mess up early on, like Halo
like,
and
dude,
stuff.
I don't want you to lose, man. I know you should win every single game, but.
Dude, this is so laggy. I think I'm shooting. I have no idea what's going on.
Laggy, bad. Oh, I gotta.
Oh. We'll see how. This history has been going on for about an hour and 20. I'm trying to think. Do we have any other great stories we should end up with? Because
here, let me go through this.
Go through your list real quick.
That I made.
Because I know we had so many times like we were landing. It's like so hard to remember exactly which memories to go through. But
okay, I got some like good just some good
one-off stories.
They're not too funny stories, but just some good like.
Yeah,
one thing that I did in Philly 05, me and Killer N were teammates for 2v2. We beat Ogre 2 and Saiyan on their host Chill Out to play you and Ogre 1 in the finals, and then we lost to you guys in the finals 50-48. But beating an Ogre on their host Chill Out was like, I was like, alright, I'm good.
Oh my god, yeah.
That was a sweet one. And I'm also, not many people know this, the 2004 Boston 4v4 national champion.
Who was your squad for that one?
The only tournament I didn't win when you guys were, or the only tournament I won, you guys weren't there. You were at WCG.
Oh no, we were at AGP. Like at one point throughout this season, there was like MLG and AGP were kind of competing. They'd have tournaments the same weekend, which sucked for us. Like we want to go to all the big tournaments. And yeah, dude, this lag is unbearable. But yeah, that was one of the times where we just went to where the higher prize money was. I think there was higher prize there, and I think you guys won the 4v4. I think T Squared won the 1v1. Who was your
bullshit.
squad?
Okay, let's put this out there. I lost because I'm a cocky, aggressive bastard. That is the only reason. I should have swept that tournament. Okay, let's run through Boston 2 seconds. Boston, I smash everybody in the 4v4s. In the 1v1s, right before I luckily lost to T Squared, I beat 11, which 11 had enough skill. Let's throw that out there. He was amazing.
He was sick.
And I beat him 15-14 in front of everybody. And I got the last kill. I charged through a grenade and got a 3-shot. Coming after that win, I was like, dude, I'm gonna win it all. And I would have played dirt in the finals, and that would have been epic because we were kind of beefing then.
Yeah, you guys always had something going on.
Yeah, so I get third there, and then the 2v2s. Me and Killer N beat 11 and Scythe in the match we played, and we came back 43-26 on Battle Creek. Beat them and then lost to Doug and Laffer in the finals because MLG picked fucking longest 2v2.
Oh, longest was a bad one, man.
What the fuck kind of finals match is that? And it was like best of 1 back then. I don't even remember playing best of 3. I don't know.
All right, I remember one thing you talked about before that you wanted to bring up was a dispute back. I want to say AGP 5 or AGP 6. Your team against ours. Let's talk about that. Let's clear the air. Let's get the elephant out of the room.
So me and Toxin are just ready to win our first tournament together.
It was, I think, you, Toxin, T Squared, and Gintron. So
yeah,
solid squad.
FJ.
Ridiculous
we
squad.
Use FJ is the game. We rolled through everybody. We get to you guys, and then I think you guys are up like 2-1 or something. We're in game like 4, and Toxin is bringing the flag back. He's a second away from capping this, and we're taking you guys to game 5. And then the timer limit runs out. 15, it goes to 14:59. And then we don't know what to do because in any Halo game, I think you could just run it in with overtime or something.
Well, there was no time. You could not set a timer on Halo 1. So basically it was the games, the refs, it's their discretion, that sort of thing. Now, AGP rules were that you had to cap the flag before 15 minutes. Now, first off, what happened is it was like 14 minutes and 30 seconds in the game. And I remember our team just being like, oh, well, we just have to hold them off our flag. As long as they don't get a grab within, next 15 seconds, we win. So we were all sitting in our bottom room. We get killed there, and you guys grab the flag at like 14:55, start to run it, you run it all the way back, cap it, and then the huge dispute was like, no, we won that game. Like, you guys didn't cap before 15 minutes because we even guarded the flag there. And then that whole thing went across, and like AGP was like, Luce was like, well, what do you think, Walshy? And like, he should have asked me, but I was just like, dude, the rules say this. It says that you need to have capped the flag by 15 minutes. They've not clapped the flag by 15 minutes. It shouldn't matter if they're off by 1 second. That's what the rule says. Because I remember at one point he was like, well, if they're like a second away, give it to him. I'm like, you can't have that ambiguity. You need to have a clear-cut rule. Because at what point do you say, oh, they can cap it at 16 minutes, 17 minutes? How's it go? So, yeah, I remember everyone was furious. They were thinking like, oh, that's like collusion, like, that's bullshit. I was like, that's the rule, man. We played for whatever rules they had. If it was the other way around, like saying if you pulled the flag before 15 minutes, which is pretty much what we're even going for. I don't even know if you pulled it before 15 minutes because they didn't really have refs back then watching. I don't even know if there's recorded footage. Like, couldn't go back and check the replay or anything like that. But
I don't know. We were coming off. I mean, we were so hot.
You guys were on fire, and you guys definitely had the potential to even beat us. But yeah,
he asked you though. He's like, "Do you want to win this?"
That's how you guys. No, that's how you guys phrased it as. But yeah. he was like, "How should it go?" And he was like, "Oh, so does that count time?" I was like, "No, like we win this half, then we win." He's like, all right, that's it.
We'll agree with Walshy. We don't know our own rules, but we'll agree with you and give you the win. And then we go into Game 5. It's like
Rat Race, CTF, or something like that. I don't remember. I remember
it might have been over after that, actually.
That could have been. Yeah, I don't know. I think there was still another game after that. I could be wrong.
I think
though.
We were so demoralized that you guys just smashed us the next game. We were over.
Yeah.
It was over or something. I don't know. Something like that.
But I remember T Squared bringing that one up a couple times too. It'd just be like, dude, that's the rules, man. I played.
That was actually AGP 6.
Okay.
Yeah, because AGP 5 my team was Zios. Okay. AGP 6 was the other team. Yeah, that was.
Tournaments back then
intense.
were crazy.
Oh, dude, another thing. Okay, so I don't know if you know this or anybody knows this. The New York finals. I was so ready for that, dude. I won like they did free for all by kills. Whoever had the most kills, like the top 6, go to the 1v1s or something like that.
Yeah.
And I won like my first 5 or 6 free for alls. My first game was, I think, I was off host, and you, Killer and Gintron, and one of the ogres are on host. I win like 50-36 first game, and Killer N looks at me. He's like, "Puck, how did you do that?" I was like, I don't know, dude. But I think I won every single free-for-all I played that day. And then I lost in the 1v1s. I remember you were trying to get me and Gintron to switch sides of the bracket, so we had to face, so it was like you guys could face off in the finals. I was like, whoa! I'm not gonna screw over my team like that. But yeah, that was a sweet.
Well, yeah, I think myself and both ogres made it to top 8 in the free for all. I don't think Killer N made it into the 1v1s. I don't think he did.
It was me, you, the ogres, Gintron, and Zios.
Because I think I pretty sure I beat Ogre 2, and then I lost Ogre 1. There's something like that I want to say. I could be wrong.
I lost to Gintron first round, so he.
I lost to Ogre. No, I lost to Ogre 2. I lost to Ogre 2, and I don't remember if I played Ogre 1 or if maybe Zaus beat him before. I can't remember who I played first round if I did. But yeah, I just remember being ready to play Zaus, and it was so intimidating. All right, so Zaus has already done this match or something like that, or maybe he had a bye because maybe he was one of the higher seeds or something like that. I don't remember exactly how it happened. This dude was braining me, by the way. But he was just sitting right behind me as I'm playing this 1v1, watching me play Wizard. I'm just like, I don't like it with my strats. Like, so I didn't go through like nade pit and grab nades, all these sort of things. End up losing, because I think it was a best of 3 1v1s or something. I ended up losing to Ogre 2. He beat me and Prisoner and maybe Wizard, I want to say. I wouldn't be surprised if I lost Wizard, because I remember that specifically being like not going through nades or not grabbing nades when I normally would, because I didn't want to give that strat to Zios. And yeah, just ended up losing that 1v1, and yeah, Zios ended up winning the tournament.
And then we got second to you guys in the 4v4s. And dude, it was so funny. I don't
remember being a stomping towards the end anymore. I remember like early on when we made our team together, like we were crushing everyone. But later on,
we had a good run versus you guys. Me and Zios, Gintron, and Toxin.
Yeah, Toxin towards the end was also a ridiculous player.
Yeah. And me and Toxin had a good run just through the AGPs together, so we were feeling great. And dude, we're playing Doug's buddies, which was Nistic's team, which was also like those are the 3 best teams. And I'm coming down. We're about to win this game to end the series. Damnation CTF. I thought I had a nade. I'm running the flag trying to get overshield, and I throw the flag off the map.
Oh,
and
no.
Zyos looks at me and goes, "Oh my God, Puck, we're never going to win if you're going to choke." And I was like, dude, my bad. But then I went on a tear and we ended up winning that series.
We're never going to win if you choke like that. Zyos was not very comforting when you need him to be.
Dude.
Back in Chicago, like 03 or it was Chicago 04, first term that we ended up beating the Ogres. I remember it was one of the last games, game 5 or game I think it was game 4, something weird that they had where if you won the first 2 games and tied game 3, you won the series for some weird reason. And so I remember they run the last flag back. I was the only one alive. I ended up getting camo, got a pretty good spawn, stuck over there, grabbed camo, and Styles goes, "This is all up to you, Walshy." I'm just thinking dude, you don't need to tell someone that as you're going to make this last play. Luckily I ended up getting the double kill, return the flag, and we won the tournament. But Zyos was not comforting at all, man.
Oh, he puts the pressure on. For sure. Yeah, great teammate.
Yeah, dude, he was a character, man.
Oh, one thing I didn't mention, dude. Okay, this is what a player that no other player has done. 07 Charlotte, I was drunk during the free-for-all, and I competed in the free-for-all. And there's a picture of me somewhere through the MLG website, raising my mouth to oh, and I'm just, I don't even remember the play, but I was so wasted in the free-for-all. These kids next to me are paying money to get here. I'm drunk in the tournament. That's how little serious you could tell I was.
I was gonna say that, yeah, you were not taking it serious towards the end. Early on, you were arguably one of the best, and then towards the end, it's you're there to have some fun.
Yeah, I always just like to come and see everybody, and at the end, I just wanted to hang out.
Yeah.
Just chill with everybody. But yeah, I was drunk. I got 7th place at the first 2 tournaments drunk, and then the 3rd tournament was Dallas 07. I was like, yo, Dirt, if we don't make money, I'm not coming back, and that's what. And we got smashed, and I was like, all right, I'm done. That's pretty much when I retired.
I don't know if you remember this one time. We were headed down to, maybe it was Houston 05 or something like that. We were flying down a thing. We ended up missing our flight, me, you, and Dirt. And the next flight is...
That was Atlanta.
That was Atlanta?
Yeah.
Wait, no, Atlanta we drove, right? Or did we fly? Well, yeah, we must have flown and got picked up from the airport. And we had to ride in the back of Zyos' pickup truck going through the smog. Oh, I felt sick for the next 2 days as we're driving bumper to bumper traffic on the highway.
Smog warnings on the highway. We're in the back of the pickup.
It literally says,
sucking the gas in.
Keep windows rolled up, smog warning. And we're sitting in the back what the hell do we do, man? So we put our shirts over our mouths and stuff like that. And I don't even know if we're supposed to be in the back of a pickup truck going 50 miles an hour. That doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem right at all. Hit one bump, we could go flying out. We would do anything to do a Halo tournament back then.
And we had to wait at the airport for 13 hours because we missed the flight.
So that's what I was going to say is we missed our flight. We got there late. And I forget who it was that drove us out there. But it was one of your parents or something like that. And they're
my grandma.
Yeah, your grandma's nah, I'm not picking you up. You guys can stay at the airport for 13 hours. And we don't have the extra cash back in the day to get a...
we were grinding back
then. Yeah, we didn't have enough cash for a cab. And I don't know... For whatever reason, we slept at the airport, and we were just should we check in early and go inside? I guess not. We had our Xbox with us because we were gonna land once we got down there. But I remember as soon as we walked through the security checkpoint, which we could have gone through hours before, we walked through, and there's a Trinitron, 27-inch TV, the perfect one for a Halo split screen LAN. And we're just we could have been landing this whole time, and instead of sitting down, we didn't have a smartphone. We couldn't just kill time like that. We just literally laid on the ground and just did nothing. I don't even know we said a word to each other. We were so pissed.
That force you to use the armrest so you can never lay down on them. You're just uncomfortable.
You just have to lay on the floor or something.
Yeah, airports were rough back then. No money, you just have to wait.
Yeah, and that smog ride, and then just trying to find Gintron. Finally finding Gintron. Getting to a hotel. Dirt gets microwaved. We have to find a remote for the TV because Gintron brings the TV but doesn't have a remote to change it to the aux channel. We finally find universal remote, and then when we finally get that, we can't figure it out for a while. Or no, we have bad batteries for some reason. Like, we bought batteries from the gas station, and they were wrong. So we go back to Walmart, get a new remote. It doesn't work again, so we get new batteries. So, like, we had to make, like, 20 trips just to get this, like, the day before LAN going on.
Dude, I remember right before that, too, when we're practicing at your house. Gintron, you guys can't get a hold of him. You're not sure if he's going to come up. And right in front of my team and everybody there, Zios is just like, oh, we might have to pick up Pac for this tournament. My team's like, you're just going to leave us? I'm like, yes. Zios, dude. Can't say no. Yeah, that was great stuff, though, man.
Oh, dude. So many good memories, man. All right. Well, I think unless you got any other great stories, this might be a good ending point for this Halo history. Like, it's so crazy to think about this. We did that so long ago. Like, we're talking, like, gaming from, like, 2003 or 2000. Yeah, like, around 2003. Yeah. Started just doing these LANs. Know each other.
To 06, 07-ish.
Yep, all those years. Saw you in Colorado recently.
Which was... Our Charlotte 07, I was landing versus Final Boss versus you guys, so we played all the way from 03 to like
for
07.
So many years. It's ridiculous to think about. And then even saw you, went out and visited Denver this summer, saw Pac.
Bowling.
Yep, went bowling, which is hilarious.
Played Pac-Man, 4-man.
For those who've never played the 4-man Pac-Man, it is so much fun. There's a like multiplayer version that you can see at like
Tournament edition.
Yeah, tournament edition, whatever, at different arcades. And it's ridiculous fun, especially if you do like 2v2. Like, there isn't an exact 2v2 model, but if you just make rules, you're like, us two on our team, you two on a team. We had so much fun doing that stuff.
Yeah, you got to get the drinks rolling for that. It's really a fun drinking game for sure.
All right, Pac. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Halo History. I'll be uploading this one. Soon I'm having Ninja on. I also have... in the lineup, we have Gandhi, Strong Side. So besides, we have Ninja, Gandhi, Strong Side, and Hokum. So those are hopefully the next 4 that we have coming on. But
those are good ones.
Yeah. So thank you all for tuning in for Halo History today. I'm gonna cut it out here, but if you still want to keep gaming some, I'm down to game some.
Yeah, I'm down to do some gaming.
All right, let's game some more. You can get your. I actually